All right, can you see my screen?
So,
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow, 22 questions. Okay, why they cannot see the why? Oops. Fine. All right, so we can see here that what do we have? We have two vectors, A and B. Okay, okay, and select the diagram that illustrate how to find the vector A plus B. Okay, so let's go here. Of course, this is not the right answer. I'm just thinking about it here. Okay, so we can see that vector A is going like that. Vector B is going as you can see. So let's check the diagrams they have. We can see that all put the tail on the tail. So it means we need to use the parallelogram law. To find the parallelogram law, we should have a parallelogram in front of us. So which means this is the right answer. Okay, so this is the right answer for
Sir,
second number. Yes?
what if they wanted the triangle rule?
Triangle law, for example, here, none of them is correct. Okay, because the triangle law, okay, this is physics, one second. For the triangle law, okay, they should, at least if they are talking about A and B, if A is like that, they should be on the tail, be like this. They should be the tail of B on the head of A. At least this is what they should put. But here, none of them can be used. Okay?
Okay.
2. So here they said we have these two vectors, okay, R1 and R2, find the vector R. How can I do that? Okay, in order to do this, all I had to do substitute. So vector R will be equals to R1, which will be 15I plus 2J minus 4 into 3I minus 4J. Okay, and then you solve. Of course, here you should substitute, sorry, you should distribute. Okay, so here I distribute, I will get 12I plus 16J. And then you group I with I and J with J, and your answer should be, this is minus, not minus, of course, not plus. It's minus 12I plus 16J, and you will get 3I plus 18J. Okay, and then this is what you will get. Okay, try to take screenshots or later on listen to the recording so I can finish those 22 questions for you. Okay, so what you do here, you put 3I plus 18J. So here you put 3. Okay, so you put over here, you put 3I plus 18J. 3. How can I find the magnitude of this vector? Very simple. To find the magnitude of R, remember, it will be the square root of 8 squared plus, remember, minus 15, all of it squared. I put it all. If you don't want to get confused with the minus, always put it 15. Don't put the minus in the magnitude. Or make sure that you are squaring it. Okay, so you will get here, after you use your calculator, your answer will be 17. Okay, so the answer will be 17. And your answer here will be 117. 4. How can we find the polar coordinates? Okay, we can see that the vector v is given. Okay, so the vector v here is given like that. R is the magnitude, so simply R will be the square root of 9 squared plus 40 squared. And once you do this, okay, you will get an answer of 41. How can I find theta? I always check x first. Is x positive? Yes, it is 9. So to find theta, okay, I will use what? Tan minus 1 of opposite, which is 40 over the x, not opposite, sorry, which is y over x. So it will be 40 over 9. I don't add 180 here because I can see that x is positive, and you will get 77.32 degrees. Now, what do you answer here? Do you answer this? No. Pay attention to those words here. They said nearest integers, so that's why theta that you substitute here should be 77. It should be 77. So pay attention. If they say two significant figures, all that you need to pay attention to. Okay, so over here, this should be 41. So here it will be 41, and here I substitute by 77. If the answer, let's say, was 77.56, you should substitute by 78 then, okay? You round it up, okay, if this was the case. 5. How can I find the scalar product of two vectors? To find the scalar product, all what you have to do is x of the first by x of the second. So it will be 3 times 2 plus minus 4 times 8. So it will be minus 4 times 8. This is how you find the scalar product, and you should get an answer of minus 26. This is the answer. Okay, so not I or j, you keep I and j without anything. So here, 3 times 2 times plus minus 4 times 8, you will get minus 26. Okay, so your answer here will be minus, oh, it will take the minus, I don't know, so it says minus 26. 6. Now, you can see that I have vector A, vector B, okay, and given in terms of 1 is 12, okay, this will take some time, so pay attention to how I'm going to do it. This is vector A. They said it's magnitude 12, and direction is east, 60 degrees towards south. This is the south, so this is the vector that they are talking about. This is 60 degrees. Now, in terms of theta, because I went clockwise from the x-axis, okay, when you are substituting to find vector A, remember, it will be magnitude, which is 12, cosine angle theta, which will be minus 60i. Why minus? Because we said we went clockwise from the positive x-axis. Okay? Or if you want, you can go all the way from here to here, and then you keep your theta positive. But I'm not done here. Okay? And then you continue. Okay, you have here plus 12 sine minus 60 j. So what will be vector A then? Vector A, after the simplification, it will give you 6i minus 6 radical 3j. And you pause. Now you go to vector B. Vector B, they said, it's 20 bearing 300. We know that the bearing is always from north clockwise. So from north, you start rotating clockwise. This is 270 till here. So this is a bearing of 300 degrees. But I do not substitute 300 degrees. I need to find theta. So that's why this angle here, by the way, will be what? It will be 30 degrees. How did I know? Because up till here, from this is 90, 90, 90 to 70. So the rest is 30 degrees. But this is not the answer. This is what you should look for. This is theta. And this theta is going to be 150 degrees. So the theta here is 150 degrees. Now, what will be vector B? Is going to be magnitude 20 cosine 150 I plus 20 sine 150 j. Okay, and then when you're doing it on the calculator, you will get this minus 10 radical 3i plus 10j. They want A plus B. So now I put them. Pay attention. Here A plus B, okay. A plus B, simply you put them like this. 6i minus 6 radical 3j plus B, which will give you, put the plus if you want and open the whole parentheses, minus 10 radical 3i plus 10j. Pay attention now to the answers up. Okay, look at the answers. I goes with I, so it will be 6 minus 10 radical 3. So this is 6 minus 10 radical 3. It goes here. Okay? And then j goes with j. So it will be 10 minus 6 radical 3. So where is that? Here. So this 10 minus 6 radical 3 goes here. Okay? So this is for a plus b. This is the fastest way, by the way, to solve it. I don't have a faster method. But what you need to pay attention, let's say they didn't ask you vector sum AB. What if they ask you vector AB? Okay, so pay attention what you will do. You will do B minus A. Okay, it's OB minus OA. Remember this? OB minus OA. And then you do, as I told you, XB minus XA, YB minus YA. So pay attention. This here, they ask you A plus B, fine. You do A plus B. But if they say vector AB, remember it will be vector B minus vector A. 7. Okay, so here you will get 10 minus 8 will be here, this will be here. Number 7. The unit vector in the direction of V to 2 decimal place is. How can I find the unit vector? In order to find the unit vector, it will be the vector itself over the magnitude of the vector. So it will be 9i plus 3j over the magnitude of the vector, which is the square root of 9 squared plus 3 squared. Okay? Once you solve this, this is what you will get. You will get 0.9486i plus 0.3162j. Now, what do you choose here? They said to 2 decimal places. So your answer should be 0.95i, and for the other one, it will be 0.32, because you can see here, I look at this is 6, so for 2 decimal places, it should be 0.32j. The angle of elevation of the bullet to the nearest degree. When they say angle of elevation, it means they want you to find this theta, which will be tan minus 1. Let's check. Is x positive? Yes, it is 9. So it will be directly y over x, which will be 3 over 9. And then what do we get here? You will get 18.43 degrees. What did they say? Nearest degree. What should you substitute? 18 degrees when we round. Okay, so what will be your answers here? What will be your answers? I think one of your friends trying to join, but they cannot, so 1 second. Okay, so over here we will get 18. So let me put the answers here. So here we said it will be 0.95. So it will be 0.95. And over here we will get, what did we say? 0.32. Okay, and then over here we will get that this is to the nearest degree, 18 as we got. 8. For number 8. Number 8, what are the components of the resultant? How can we find the resultant when we have 2 forces given here? Very simple. The resultant will be the sum, always the sum of the forces. So here we get F1 plus F2, and then we will get I minus 2j plus 2i plus 6j. And then, of course, as we did, we group I with I, we will get this as an answer. What is the magnitude? To find the magnitude, it will be the square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared. Okay, and then here you will get, I think, 5, because 9 plus 16, it will be 5. What is the angle between the unit vector in the direction of f and the positive x-axis? So it's similar to they are asking you about the angle theta here, okay? So they are asking about angle theta, so I check. Is 3 positive? Yes. Okay, so simply it will be 10 minus 1, 4 over 3 to find the angle. and then you can find the angle. Okay, so here, shift tangent 4 divided by 3, it will be 25.32 degrees. Okay, so these are the answers. Let's put them here. This is 3i, what did we say? We said it's 3i plus 4j. Okay? Sorry? I can close the door. Sorry for the noise. They are sanitizing the school. What is the magnitude of the resultant? As we said, it will be 5 newtons. What is the angle? What do we got? Okay, 25 point, what did you get? 25, something like that, 23. Let me check again. We got 4 over, it will be shift tangent, 4 divided by 3. Wow, it's 53. Sorry for that, I think I made a mistake. Okay, so it will be 4 over 3. If I said something before, okay, cancel it from your head. It will be, to find the answer, it will be tangent minus 1, y, which is 4 over 3, and this is the answer. It's 53. 9. Now, we can see that we are given the magnitude is 73, angle theta is 49. They want you to find r in terms of y and j. So very simple, directly here I will say the following. It's 73 cosine 49i plus 73 sine 49j. Okay, and then after the substitution, you will get the answer. A position vector perpendicular to r and located above the x-axis can be given in polar coordinates as 1 meter and theta. I'll give you 1 second to read it again so you can understand what I'm going to do next. Okay, so over here, what can I understand from this? This is what I understood when I was thinking about it. This is the angle 49 degrees. This is 49 degrees, and they said that we have another vector perpendicular to r above the x-axis. Okay, so if I want to draw this vector that I'm talking about, I'm going to draw it like this. Making an angle 90 degrees, this is vector r that they are talking about. So this is the new vector that I'm talking about, perpendicular to r above the x-axis. So what will be its angle theta? It will be this whole thing here. So it will be this whole thing because I need to refer to the positive x-axis, and then when you add 90 to 49, you will get 139 degrees. Okay, so the answer will be 139 degrees. So the answers here are going to be as follows. No, I didn't get it. 73 cosine 49. It will be 47.89. 47.89 positive. So this will be here. Okay, and then we get 79 sine 49. We get 59.62. Okay, so oh, my bad. It's 73 sine 49. It's 55 positive. So this will be here. Now for the second one, as we said, the angle here will be 139. What happened to it? Okay. So the answer is for this, but I wanted to, so here this is 139 degrees. I don't know why it's not working.
So you need to click and drag.
Here? Yeah. That's why it's not working. Thank you for, I didn't pay attention to that. Thank you for helping me. 10. A vector is given as follows. Magnitude is 16.5 meters, west 50 degrees to north. Okay, so assume that y is towards the north. We already know that. Okay, so here, this is going to be, okay, west. Where is west? This is west. Remember, north, east, south, west. It's west 50 degrees north. So this is the angle that they are talking about. What they want to find the polar coordinates. When they say the polar coordinates, okay, it means we need to refer to the positive sense. So the direct of the x-axis. So this is the angle theta that they are talking about. So this is what we need to find. Okay, what is it? It will be 180 minus 53. Okay, and then you will get 127 degrees. The bearing of this vector. So to find the bearing, it's from north clockwise. So from north, we need to go clockwise towards the vector. This is the bearing. Okay, what will be the measure of this angle? Okay, you can, it's geometry. As you can see, I can find this angle here, which will be 90 minus 53. You will get 37. So it will be 360 minus 37. You will get 323 degrees. Okay, so I will repeat. If I subtract 53 from 90, 37. Okay, so the whole thing is going to be 323 degrees. What is the Cartesian coordinates? Cartesian coordinates, I already know the magnitude and I already have angle theta. Okay, so to find the Cartesian, it will be magnitude 16.5 cosine the angle theta 127i plus 16.5 sine 127j. Okay, and when you put it on, they said nearest degree, nearest integer, so it will be 16.5 cosine 127, 9.93, which means minus. It's minus 10, so it's minus 10i. Okay, and it will be 16.5 sine 127. It will be 13.17, so it's 13j. Okay, so these are the answers. And so let's put them here. The angle theta, so this is how much we got, 127. Maybe the board is tired today after working 12 hours. All right, you already know the answer. I told you how you got them. I don't know, it's not working anymore. 11. Over here, you are given that the unit vector OA is negative 0.28i, the bearing of OA to the nearest degree. So how can we find the bearing? We need to find angle theta first. Okay, so to find angle theta here, pay attention to this. The angle x, the x component, is negative. So that's why it will be tan minus 1 y over x. But what should I do? I should add 180 degrees. Why? Because the x component is negative. Okay, so here the x component is negative. And then when you do this, you will get 253.74. Okay, you will get 253.74. So of course, to the nearest integer, it will be 254 degrees. Consider vector OB anti-parallel to vector OA. Its magnitude is 25 meters. OB can be expressed. Now, when I say anti-parallel, it means it's in the opposite direction to it. Okay, so it is in the opposite direction. So simply here, look what you do. Okay, and you multiply it by, because this is a unit vector, it's giving me direction. But because they said anti-parallel, it means it's opposite. So that's why I multiply by 0.28i plus 0.96j. I flip the signs. If one of them, let's say it was 0.28 minus, so here it will be minus then 0.28 plus. Okay, so when they say this anti-parallel thing, you multiply by the opposite, okay? And then you will get 7i plus 24j. That's what you will get.
Sir,
If, yes?
from where did you get 25?
The unit vector is a vector direction.
Okay.
Okay, why I flipped it? Because they said anti-parallel. So I flip the signs of that unit vector that is given. C. I need to erase that. I can go back if you need. Okay, I can go back. I'll give you like a minute because I cannot write them again for you. The board is not helping me anymore. Okay, so sorry.
You didn't finish part A.
How did I get what?
No, you didn't finish part A.
I didn't finish. Oh, this is part A. This is part A. No, no, I'm not done with the exercise. I still have part C. But
Yeah.
part A is up. Why I'm adding 180? Because remember, the x component here is negative. Okay. Part C. If the eastern with the positive, the mariner's compass direction of OB. Okay, remember what did we get for OB? We got this is what we got for OB. If you want to, what happened here? Okay. Maybe I need to open this again. So here, okay. So as you can see now, for OB, they said, okay, how do we draw it? What we got for OB, this is what we got. We got 7i plus 24j. Okay, it's like a point. If you're trying to draw this point, okay, what we need to do, we can find angle theta. Okay, so let's find angle theta here. So then from it, I can find the mariner's compass. So when I say 7i plus 24j, it is positive. Okay, so it is positive. So what you do, it's shift tangent the 24 divided by 7. So 24 because it's y over x. And then you will get 73.74. From where? From the positive x-axis. Okay, so you will get this. This is 73, so this is point B. Degrees. What do they want? They said north, east, towards east. So which angle they want? This angle that they want. Okay, they want this angle over here. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. Okay, and then because they said from north towards east. Okay, and then it will be 16.26. Okay, so it will be 16.26. And of course here, okay, it will be rounded to 16 degrees. It is drag and drop. So 16. You can see it, it's over here. This is R and T. Okay, they are both lines with x coordinate. They wanted to find what the x coordinate. Okay, where they meet, where they intersect. So look what you do, which is the fastest method, and the y coordinates where they intersect. Okay, when they intersect, it means x should be equal to x. So you do 3 plus 3r, it's equal to 1 minus 2t. And y should be equal to y. So it will be 5 minus 3r equals to 2 plus t. And you group them to equations with two unknowns. It will be like this. 3r plus 2t is equal to minus 2. And then this is the first equation. Minus 3r minus t, it will be equal to minus 3. So now I have two equations with two unknowns. This is what you will have. 3r plus 2t is equal to minus 2. And then you have minus 3r minus t equals to minus 3. It's either you use your calculator, or you can see here that I have 3 and minus 3. So I can add. When you add, this and this will cancel out, and you are left with t. Because 2t minus t, it will be t, and then here we get minus 5. So t is minus 5. Okay, and if t is minus 5, how can I find r? I substituted three plus 4r is equal to 1 minus 2, so it will be 4r. Guys, I made a small mistake here. Look, this I copied it 3r. It should be 4r. Okay, it should be 4r. So sorry for that mistake. So here this is 4r. Okay, and then you will have here 4r. Okay, when you solve it on your calculator, when you solve this on your two equations with two unknowns, okay, you will get the following. You will get r is going to be 4 and t is going to be minus 9. Now, how can you find x? How can you find y? All what you have to do, you take this, you substitute it here, you will find x. So I will have here 3 plus 3 into 4, which is 12, it will be 15. So the answer is 15. And I take, in the second one, I will have 5 minus 3 into 4, it's 5 minus 12, and then you get minus 7. So the answer here is minus 7. Or you can take t and substitute it in the second equation. It will also give you 15 and minus 7. Try it, you will see that you will get the same answer. Okay, so if you try it, you will get, it will give you 4, yeah. Unless I did a calculation mistake, it has to give you the same answer. Okay, any question about this? So the first thing you do, you put the x here, this is equal to this. Okay, and then you put it together, and the whole number together. On the other side, you put y equals to y. Okay, and then also you group it as one equation. Then you solve the two equations, two unknowns. The values that you get here, you substitute them, okay, in one of the equations. And then you will get x, you will get y. 13. Here we have vector OA is given by 2i plus 4j. Vector OB is 10 meters and is perpendicular to OA. What are the possible x components of vector OB to the nearest integers? Okay, what do we have here? We have vector OA, it's 2i plus 4j. If we want to draw vector OA, okay, 2i means this, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is vector OA. Perpendicular to OA. So they did not specify a direction, not like before. Before they said above the x-axis. Here they didn't mention above. So OB, B can be here, or 90 degrees, or it can be here, 90 degrees. That's why you can see that they gave you two values for x1 and x2. Okay, so that's why you can see you have those two values. How can I find the possible x components of this vector? Okay, so how can I find then x1 and x2? So the first thing you need to do is to find the angle of elevation that A makes, this theta here. Okay, how can I find it? It's by tangent minus 1 of opposite, which is 4 over 2. And then this angle, it's going to be 63.43 degrees. Now, the second thing you do, okay, you need to find the angle that B makes with the x-axis, which is this. Okay, so this is for the first position of B. What will be this whole angle? It's going to be 153.43 degrees. Why? Because this is angle theta that is 63, and this is the 90 that you add up. So you will have the 153.43. And then what do? Same as we were doing. Magnitude 10 cosine 153.43 I plus 10 sine 153.43 J. When you simplify this is what you will get. Approximately minus 9i plus 4.5 J. Now this is for the first B. What about the second one? Same thing. We need to find this angle. We need to find this one. Okay, so how can we find it? Now we can see this is 90, and this is the theta, the 63.43. So what we do now, we subtract the 63.43 from 90, we will get 26.57. And it will be 90 minus 63.43. Yeah, 26.57. But pay attention, when you are substituting it in the equation in order to get the vector OB again, but this time the vector OB that is down, you will do this. 10 cosine minus 26.57 I. Why minus? Because we went clockwise, so the theta that we use is negative, plus 10 sine minus 26.57 J. And what you will get is the following. You will get 9i plus 4.5 minus 4.5 J. So what are the values of x1 and x2? Those are the values of x1 and x2. Minus 9 and 9. Okay, so why? Because I have, as you can see, two positions that can be perpendicular to OA. The y component of OB corresponds to the positive x component. Pay attention to that. The positive x component, I don't look at the first vector, I look at the second vector, because the second vector has an x that is positive. Okay, what will be the answer to two significant figures? Minus 4.5. Minus 4.5. Okay, so what you need to pay attention to the steps. One, you find theta of A with the x-axis, and then it's either, because they said perpendicular, so it's either going to be perpendicular to the left side to be, or 90 to the right side. And then you need to find the angle theta for each. Okay, so you need to find the angle theta for each. And as you can see, we do this all the time, theta, in order to find the vector in terms of I and j. Okay, so here, find the scalar product. I'm going to do this one fast. Okay, we can see here it will be 24 times 4 x1 times x2 plus y1 times y2. Okay, and then you will get 75. The angle between these two vectors. How can we find the angles between these two vectors? Remember, the angle theta is equal to cosine minus 1 of the scalar product the magnitude of the first vector, radical 24 squared plus 7 squared, times radical the second vector, 4 squared plus the minus 3, all of it squared. Once you do this on your calculator with the cosine -1, you will get an angle approximately equal to 53 degrees. So the angle here will be 53 degrees. So when they ask you about the vector between the two vectors, this is what you will do. You find the scalar product, and then you divide by the product of their magnitudes. C. OC is the median of the triangle OAB. Its coordinates are. Okay? So if I'm going to draw this triangle, OAB, like that. Okay, this is AB, and this is C. Oh, sorry, this is O. Okay, OC is the vector, so this is C, is going to be the magnitude, the median, as they said. Okay, which means this is C. What do they want? In other words, they are asking you about the midpoint of AB. So in other words, because we know that in the median C will be in the midpoint. How can I find the coordinates of the midpoint? It will be, so XC that they want, it will be XA plus XB over 2. So in other words, they are asking you about the coordinates of the midpoint. And for the Y component of C, it will be YA plus YB over 2. Okay, so all what you have to do, this is XA, this is XB, so XA, XB, YA, without the JR, YB, which is minus 3. So remember here, YB is minus 3. But when you're finding the midpoint, it's XA plus XB, YA plus YB. But YB is negative. So of course here you will have plus minus 3, it will be minus 3. 50. We have a student, he went from a point whose position vector is minus 6i plus 10j to a point whose position vector is 2i minus 4j along a straight line with midpoint C. The coordinates of a point when the student is exactly in the middle, which means at C. In other words, they want you to find here the coordinates of the midpoint. Okay, so it will be, to find xc, it will be x of a, which is minus 6, plus x of b, which is 2 over 2. So you will get minus 2. Y of c, it will be y of a, which is 10, plus y of b, which is the minus 4, over 2. Okay, and then you get 3. Okay, 10 minus 4, 6, over 2, you get 3. So the answer will be 2 here, minus 2 here, and 3 here. How can we find the distance in B? To find the distance, remember, it will be this long square root of xb minus xa, all of it squared, plus yb minus ya, all of it squared. Okay, and then listen, remember, this is xa, which is minus 6. This is ya, which is 10. Okay, this is xb, it is 2. And what is yb? It's the minus 4 that we have. You substitute in order to find the distance. You know this long time ago. Degrees turn and walks towards the x-axis. Choose the correct answer to complete the sentences below. What is a unit vector in such direction? To the nearest decimal place. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Hopefully you are. Okay, so you can see here that after it reaches point B, what happened? Let's go back to check point B. It is at 2i minus 4j. So if I want to draw 2i minus 4j, this is what we will see. This is point B here. So what happened when this kid reached this point here? This is what he did. Okay, he turned with an angle 90 degrees. This is what he did. Okay, they want you to find a unit vector in that direction. Okay, they want you to find a unit vector in that direction. How can we find a unit vector in that direction? Okay, over here, you need to do the following. You open, this is the fastest method because I was thinking about it, and I think the fastest method is the following. You know this vector. Now I know that vector AB, okay, we know that the scalar product between two vectors, let's say vector u, let's say the vector u scalar v, it is 0. This means u perpendicular to v. So the fastest thing you do is the following. We know that vector b is, what did they say? 2i minus 4j. Let's check. 2i minus 4j. Okay? So we know that vector b is 2i minus 4j. So what you do, because it's what you do here, you make this one drop. Okay, so let me go up here. You open these. Okay, you open these and this. Okay? And then you have the vector b. Minus 2i is 2i minus 4j. And you start like thinking about when you take 2 multiplied by what plus minus 4 multiplied by what from these numbers, it will give me 0. Okay, once you do that, you will find, okay, so 2 multiplied by something from this box plus minus 4 that is here multiplied by something from this box will give me 0. And then you will find the one the one corresponding to that answer. Okay, this is, I think, it will be the fastest for you when you are asked this question. Double I. The distance, the student will travel towards the x-axis to the nearest degree. Okay, the distance, look what will happen. When you draw B, this will be B. This is B. You find this angle, but this is 90, right? He turned 90 degrees. They are asking you about this distance. They are asking you about this D. How can I find it? All what you have to do is find this angle theta. How can I find it? We know that vector B okay, is equal to 2i minus 4j. So all that you have to do to find theta, it will be 10 minus 1 of minus 4 over 2. You will get 63.43. And then you use the trigonometry, means sine 63.43, it is opposite, which is d, over the hypotenuse. What's the hypotenuse? This is the hypotenuse. It's the length, it's the magnitude of b, which means over the magnitude of b, which is 2 squared plus minus 4 squared. And then you can find d. Okay, so what do we do here when they ask me this question? Okay, you can see that the right triangle will be formed. How can I find theta? Here you use theta not as a polar, you use theta only as a vector. Okay, so we can see that theta, I can find it by y over x. It will be of course here you will get, when you solve this, you will get minus 63.43. Okay, but you neglect the minus. Why? Because you want to find the distance. So you just treat theta here as a measure. That's why you take it as 63.43. And then it will be d over the magnitude. Why magnitude? Because over the hypotenuse. What's the hypotenuse? The measure of this hypotenuse, it's the magnitude of b. Last question in the first line, 16. Okay, a vector perpendicular to this line can be given by, okay, look what you do here in this case, similar to the one that I showed you before. You'd say 2 times 6 plus minus 6 times unknown should be 0. So let's say this unknown is x. Okay, so it will be minus 6x equals to minus 12. So this unknown, for me, unknown, not x as an x component, I mean unknown. Okay, it will be 2. So the answer here will be 2. Why? Because the scalar product, if it's 0, it means the vectors are perpendicular. 17. They gave you a line L, okay, passing through A. It passes through A. It means vector A is equal to 30i minus 60j. And it's parallel to this vector D. We know that a parametric vector equation R, it should be A plus T times the vector that is parallel to it, which is D. But do I know D in terms of I and J? No. So I need to find it in terms of I and J. So let me find D in terms of I and J. Bearing 160, from north, I go clockwise. This is bearing 166 degrees. Well, I need to find theta. Okay, so I need to find theta. It means I need to find this angle here. I need to find theta. What will be theta? This is 90. So 166 minus 90, we will get 76. But when you want to substitute to find vector D in terms of I and J, it will be magnitude cosine what? Minus 76 I plus 65 sine minus 76 J. And then when you're solving this, you will get that vector D will be 15.72 I minus 63 J. Okay, we're not done. We need to find the parametric vector equation. So this is what we should do now. R, it will be A, which is 30i minus 60j T into D that I already found it in terms of I and J, 15.72i minus 63j. Okay, and then I group it. Okay, I with I, so it will be R equals to what? 30 plus 15.72t, all of it I, plus, okay, you can see minuses here, but I can put plus of what? Minus 60, minus 63, t, all of it j. Okay, over here when you drop this, the answers, pay attention to how you are going to choose them. Okay, so you will get here, this is the answer. We can see that we have a vector OA of length 17 meters and direction is east 28 north. So if I want to draw it, this is east, this is north, this is 28 approximately. What do they want to find? The nearest meter OA can be expressed as, so they want it in terms of y and j. Okay, so it will be 17 cosine 28i plus 17 sine 28j. Why? Because it's already with the positive x-axis. I can directly substitute that. Okay, now they want you to find, consider vector OB perpendicular to OA from the smallest to the largest. The two possible bearings of OB is what? Okay. They said perpendicular, but they did not choose the sense. So this can be B, making an angle 90 degrees in that sense. Or other side. I'm going to divide them into two parts. Let's try to find the bearing of this. So to find the bearing of this, it should be from north clockwise. This is the bearing. So I need to find this whole angle. How can I find it? Okay, I need to find it in a geometric way, of course. If this angle is 28, it means this angle that we have here is 90 minus 28. Okay, so 90 minus 28, we will get 62. So the angle here, 62 degrees. What will be the measure of this? It will be 90 minus 62, so it will be 28 degrees. So how can I find the bearing that is in green? How can I find this whole thing? It will be 360 minus the 28, and you will get 332 degrees. The first choice, but also remember, I can draw B perpendicularly to the other side. Okay, this is east, this is north. Okay, this is the vector OA, 28 degrees. But also, I can draw B to the other side. I can draw B perpendicular like this. And then the bearing, sorry, not this. And then the bearing will be this. Okay, this will be the bearing. Again, this is 62. Okay, and this is what will be, this is 28, this is 90. Okay, so it will be 28, 90 minus 28, it will be 62. So what you need to do here, it will be 62 plus 62. Okay, 62 plus 9. How do you do it? Okay, 62, it will be 152. So the bearing in this case is 152. The bearing here is 332. How did I ask you to find it? From smallest to largest. So this should be 152 degrees, and this is the 332 degrees.
Sir,
Yes?
why did we draw a line perpendicular to the other side?
Because they said consider OB to be perpendicular to OA. They did not give me a direction. If this is OA, okay, the perpendicular vector can be to this side, or I can draw a perpendicular to OA to this side. That's why they said the two possible bearings. Hopefully you did. Okay, 19. Vector. 19, I think, no, 18. Are you with me, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are at 19. Okay. Finally there. Yeah. So vector OA shown in the diagram below makes an angle 30 degrees with the positive y-axis. So this is the angle here is 30 degrees. Okay. Now drag and drop the correct answer. Okay. Let me see how we can. Oops. So the angle OA makes with the positive x-axis the bearing mariner's compass. Okay, so let's find them. So here, this is what you are given. This is 30 degrees as they said. The first question is what? They want you to find the direction with the positive x-axis. So it means they need you to find all this. All what you have to do is to add. Okay, so the answer for part A is simply I add 90. It will be 90 plus 30, and it will be 120 degrees. Bearing. Now don't be tricked. For the bearings, I always have from north clockwise. So this whole thing is the bearing. So the bearing, the answer for the second one, it will be 360 minus the 30. So it will be 330 degrees. Or if you want, you can add this to this to this 270. Then what is left here is 60. You will again get 330. As mariner's compass, the answer will be north 30 degrees towards west or west 60 degrees towards north. How did I know it's 30 degrees with the y-axis? Because they told me this, okay? They gave it to you here. They said makes an angle, okay, 30 degrees with the positive y-axis. So this means this is 30 degrees. It's not the bearing, not any angle with the north will be the bearing. If it's not clockwise, then it's not the bearing. 20. All right, so this, as you can see, it's from your book. How the arc tangent means tangent minus 1, okay? So the arc tangent here that you have, okay, this, it means tangent minus 1. So if x is positive, that's what you do. If x is negative, it's 180 plus tangent minus 1. Now, if x is 0 and y is positive, theta will be 90. If x is 0 and y is negative, then theta will be 270. Okay, this is from the book. You can easily get these. Fill in the blanks. If x is 28 and y is negative 45, then the polar coordinates are. How can I find v? Okay, to find v, it's the magnitude. So it will be the square root of what? Of the 28 squared plus minus 45, all of it. Put minus sign in order to not confuse directly. It will be always x, y, both of them should be positive squared. Okay? And how can I find theta? I can see y is negative, but I don't care. I care about when x is negative. Okay? So I care about when x is negative. Okay? So here directly what I do to find theta, it will be 10 minus 1 minus 45. Of course, I care to put it in the equation because y is minus 45 over 28, and you will get angle theta. Okay, 21. What do they want? Vector OA plus OB. Coordinates of VR. Okay, we can see here that you have V is the sum of OB. Okay, it's the sum of OA and OB. So how can we find that? Okay, we need to check this. Okay, look what they said here. They said that each small square of the graph is 1 meter of length. So if I want to write down OB in terms of I and J, I can count this 1, 2, 3 along the x-axis. So it will be 3i. For y, it's 1, 2, 3 also. Okay, so it will be also plus 3 of j because it's along the y-axis. For OA, you can see it is 1, 2 along the x-axis, but in the negative sense. So it will be minus 2i. For A, okay, you can see we went up only 1, and in the positive sense, that's why it will be plus j. How can I find vector V? They said it's vector OA plus OB, so it will be minus 2i plus j, which is vector OA, plus 3i plus 3j, which is vector OB, and then I group it. Minus 2i plus 3, it's I, because it will be 1i, plus 4j. Okay, so first you need to find it from the graph. Okay, and then you do that. Now pay attention, if they don't say 1 meter length, let's say they said 2 meters length. So pay attention, we don't count only 3, we count 3 and we multiply it by 2. So the answer won't be 3, it will be 6. So if they give you that, it's like a scale. If they give you that this is 2 centimeters, let's say, or 2 meters, make sure that you multiply by the scale. But here they didn't say that. Okay, so directly I can write it down by counting and that's it. Okay, so the second part, if they had it stays at point with coordinates minus 3, 1 meter. The tail of such vector will have coordinates, okay? So what you do here is the following. You found vector V. How much do you get for V? Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, we got it I plus 4j. That's what we get for V, I think. Yeah. Okay, so look what you do. This vector has minus 3i plus j as coordinates in terms of I and j. What they said, they want you to find the vector where the coordinates of the vector, okay, where the tail of V is. Where the tail of V is. Okay, so what do you do? The vector that they want, let's call it R. So this is what they want. Okay, you add it to vector V. It should give you this. Okay, so therefore this vector R will be vector R. It will be minus 3i, the one that they gave it to you, the coordinate here, minus vector V, which is I plus 4j. And this will be your answer. Minus 4i minus 3j. Okay, so directly, once you see this question, okay, vector R, the one that you want, this is what they are asking you about. You add it to the vector V that you found, okay, equal to what? Equal to this, but in terms of I and j, and then you solve for vector that they want, which is, I called it here R. Find it. Here is not the parametric vector equation, it's an unknown vector, but I gave it to the same set. Last question, 22. You can see all these vectors. What did they say? Drag and drop the vectors that match the following descriptions. Equal to vector A. Equal to vector A, it means they should have the same direction and same magnitude. Which one? You see, I can see only H. So the answer here should be H. Vector opposite to H. So vector opposite to H, you can see this is H, okay, opposite to it. It means it has to have the same magnitude, but opposite direction. I can see B here. It has the same magnitude and opposite direction to H. So that's why the answer here should be B. Vector parallel to D. This is D. Okay, you can see it's down in the graph, down. Vector parallel. Parallel doesn't mean it should have the same magnitude. It means it should have the same direction. I can look and see F is in the same direction. Okay, and parallel to D. So that's why the answer here will be F. Vector that is a scalar multiple of D. What do they mean, scalar multiple of D? It means it is in the same direction as D, but bigger or smaller than it. Okay, so bigger or smaller than it. So this is vector D. Okay, also it's vector F because it has to be in the same direction. Okay, so that's why F. Unit vector. Okay, so a unit vector means it has a magnitude of 1. It has a magnitude of 1, and it should be in the direction of either y or x, which is vector D, because you can see D as a magnitude, it's covering only one square, and it's giving me the direction of the y-axis. Okay, so here, vector D. What else we have? Okay, we still have the last one. Fill in the blanks, the sum of the two vectors A and 1 on this diagram that is equal to a 0 vector. So A, what will cancel A? This is how we should think about it. What will cancel A? It's B. Why B? Because B is opposite to A and it has the same magnitude. So if I add vector A to vector B, they will give me the 0 vector. So therefore the answer here is B. Okay, so it will work now. Let's see. It won't. Okay, so it will give me the vector B. Okay, so here the sum of the two vectors, I will repeat, it is A and what? I look at the vector that will have the opposite direction of A and the same magnitude, so that's why the answer will be B. We're done. If you have any question, okay, refer to the recording, okay, and make sure that you listen it again. And now what you need to do, it is 10 to 7. I advise you tomorrow. Grade 11, you're with me? The mechanics exam,
Yes,
is it
sir.
tomorrow? Is it tomorrow or after?
Sir, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay, so what I advise you is the questions that you find them hard, okay, rest a bit now and then try to solve them again. So you'll be familiar with them. If you also can solve the basic question in the book, it will be awesome. All right, good luck. Any questions before I log out?
No.
Have a nice eve. Enjoy. Well, I'm just
Thank you,
kidding.
sir.
Good luck, and I know that you're not going to enjoy
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay? I will see you tomorrow. Good luck for you.
Thank you, sir.